Hello and welcome back, everybody. This is Wasteland Strongbeard, and we are talking about acid. I was asked again about how exactly I do this, so I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as possible. I made another video, but it was way too freaking long, so that's not good. So first of all, we don't need that. First of all, how many passive generators do we have? We have, or whatever, crop planters. We have 131. They're set up upstairs. They're attached. All right, we're going to go into fly mode. So hold on to your guts. So these are single levels that are actually double. It works better that way. Just build it that way. If you're going to do it this way, do it this way. You can't fit three. You can't fit more than this. It doesn't work. And you'll probably have to finagle whether you put the things on the top first or the bottom first. There's a little bit of a It's a little glitchy. Don't worry about this light. That's just so that I can see the plants. And I have a secondary level where the contaminated berries grow. They're in a rotation grow situation, which I'll tell you about. And I have three of the toxic grow shrooms that are working for that. So I will talk about that. So these grow shrooms, they're 4-3-3-4. They all have, when they're in a pollution zone, they have a 25% chance to not consume energy. It's a significant difference. Having three of them, I had them before not in the pollution, and then when I put them in the pollution, I noticed my crops started growing significantly faster, like noticeably faster. The contaminated berries have they say 12 hours. So if I'm not quite sure exactly how long they take to grow now, but I know it's less than 12 hours for sure. I think it's about 8. I'm not 100% sure. But I have them on, I fill up their fertilizer, I fill up the contaminated berry seeds. I'll go to this one, you know, the one has 200, that one has 300. Oh, he has the least amount. So then I'll say, okay, well, where are the contaminated berry seeds? Throw them in there. And when the fertilizer runs out, I fill it up. It's just as simple as that. It's like a 3 bin system. And they work until they're tired and then they stop working. But almost every single time I come here, they are working. They work a lot. They're almost never in their securement unit. Yeah, like ever. They're always working. Anyways, so they work and they make your crops grow faster. They are worth it. Growth shrooms are definitely worth it. And for being able to automate your planting, if you have 50 plots and you don't want to go blip 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 and like plant every single freaking plot, even with the continuous gardening, which just lets you replant what you just planted, you just throw everything in here. You go put all the fertilizer in here, whatever you want. And then you put your seeds, whatever you want of all one kind. Yeah, you're limited, but you know what? He does all the work, so relax. Whoa, I'm not sure what that is. It's some kind of, you see that shaking? Oh, it did it again. Some perspective thing. I'm not touching my mouse. All right, so what was I talking about? I was talking about the things and the stuff. Yeah, so you want to throw the seeds in there, and that makes it simple. You can throw three different kinds of seeds if you want to grow three different kinds of things. I'm just making acid right now. I'm just growing berries. It's all the same crap, so I throw it all in there. I could throw in like yield, but I'm not even worried about it. I made a bunch of yield fertilizer that I didn't end up using. And then of course that stuff goes in here. Your cycle times are 16 and a half hours total. These have already been started. I did this video earlier and I rambled on for an hour. So now I'm trying to make a quicker video for you guys because I know time is money and you're busy people. So 16 and a half hours means that approximately you will have 16 hours. There's 24 hours in a day. Then the next 16 hours will go. And then by the end of the second day ish, well, technically 24 hours, 25 hours, so a little bit after the yeah, so it'll be 48 hours. 48 hours plus three halves. So 49.5 hours, you'll have 3 cycles. And typical load is 2 of these full. So 400. Sometimes it goes 500 to 600, depending on if we get like a bonus for some reason. And then that's 400 to 600 per crop, at least 1 per day, but then 3 after 2 days, pretty much. So if that's just this with the 4, that's still 12. That's still 1200 in 2 days. So 600 a day approximately. That's about the average. Maybe that's low average. And then with the automated pollution stuff, the eels are in, it's not full. They don't go full time all the time. They do take breaks. They are deviants. They do run out of power and then need to replenish. We can say get back to work. And then they work a little bit longer. You don't want to do that all the time though, and you don't want to have any negative traits that will screw the rest of your people up. Screw the rest of your deviants. If you have heartthrob, snooze aficionado, I can't speak that language. Sorry. Or baffling behavior, you will negatively affect your other deviants if you use the refill and get rid of their mood. There's a chance it'll screw them up. And I've actually had the other day, I had a chain reaction when I was testing this. I refilled, the mood went down, the power went up. I checked the other ones, and their mood had got knocked down. And when I refilled, their mood got knocked. They refilled, but they had less to refill on their power, and then the next one was hit like twice. Or was one of the next ones was hit twice by like 2 negative effects. And then I saw it very, very clearly. So I checked them all beforehand. So watch out for that. I don't use any of these. You'll notice none of mine have negative effects on them. They do not. They have worn out. Yeah, okay, fine. Power's a little bit low, but he's a 3-5. So I don't think I have anything stronger than that right now. I think I'm walking around with a couple eels in my pocket. Is that an eel in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Yeah. I had to go there. I had to go there, didn't I? Yeah, this is just random crap that I'm still working my way through. Yeah. So, what was it? 3-5? Yeah, these are all like 3-4s, 4-3s. These are extras. I thought somebody was going to ask me for. My friend said that he might want to borrow some. So I thought whatever. And the same with the grow shrooms. I just have extras. Just gonna end up throwing them away. Um, yeah. So the automatic fill pumps, the wall pumps that we have over here. Whoops. I did make another one to see if I can improve the flow between the two polluted water uh, purifiers because they're one's getting filled and the other one isn't. I thought maybe if I put 2 pumps, they'll both fill up. I don't know. We'll find out. This pumps the dirty water to the purified water. We'll see if that actually works. These are all connected, and they are connected up here to these 2 tanks. These 2 are collectors for these 8 rain collectors, which are collecting polluted water, and those are more of my electric eels flying around my solar panels. I have my solar panels in my production zones so that I can, yeah, I'm stuck in my production zones here and here so that I can check them as I'm doing things. These are the water pumps, groundwater pumps. They have gravity fed. They feed into these. These are all connected. And then these pumps are connected to all of them except for this pump is not connected to that because it ran out of the maximum. I don't know if I'm going to change that. We'll see what happens. But these are also here. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 polluted water pumps operating at maximum with 1 dirty water pump that we have running right now. Actually, these both might be dirty. These two are switched around because Deviants blew them up in a purification event and I put them in wrong. That's why. Right now, we are running at 248 of 253.2. It maxes out at about 267. I think somewhere around there, 272 when all the eels are running, but the stronger eels run longer and create more power. No, they produce more power, but then if their second number is bigger and these are bigger, then they work for longer. Just get big numbers. Get the good ones. Don't get crappy ones. Don't get negative things like baffling behavior, heartthrob, or snooze affonciato because it screws up the moods of all your guys and it makes your production more erratic. And I noticed that a lot with the eels, so that's why I got rid of all the ones that had those effects. I think I sold some of them and some of them I just like threw on the ground. I probably should sell the better ones. I don't know. I thought my friend might want to try it out. Plus, I want to have some extras in case I just went full eel, just to see how much power I could squeeze out of this thing. You know, you get the picture of Palpatine yelling, "Unlimited power!" Right? Like that. Anyways, so yeah, I built 4. I only have 2 connected right now. This is actually not connected. You can see here. So I just connect which ones I need. I built extra ones in case I had overflow. I wasn't quite sure what my productivity would be. I've just been using standard fertilizer for the contaminated berries, so I haven't needed the extra benches quite so much. Like if I use yield. If I use yield or if I use growth, uh, fertilizer that ends up making my cycle time of my crops faster, and then I end up putting them in here more than the cycle times of these machines does not change. It's 16 and a half hours for 99 contaminated whatevers, or 99 acid, which is 297. It's like 297 of the contaminated berries to make 99 acids. So it's 3 to 1, 3 berries for 1 acid. What else would you guys want to know? This is filling up automatically on the top here. And then what I've been doing is taking this out and putting it into these two, keeping them all around 2,000 or so if I can. And then that acid is pumping on its way down. This is a little excessive. This is absolutely excessive acid production. I just wanted to see what was possible. I might just throw all the eels in tomorrow and just see what the hell happens, except for my backpack guy there and maybe my piano player. I do have the piano playing deviant. She does help, I think. Maybe 5 or 10% more output for all of your deviants, somewhere around there. I don't know. I just think she looks nice. She's in my bedroom. She's playing me music on the piano. It's nice. So this one fills in automatically. I just pulled that crap out and put them into here. I think they actually work faster. They work a little bit faster than our regular supply runs at, but then we get the intermittent um, supply from the water collectors up here. It's good to have these. I know not everybody, I know they look a little bit ugly or whatever. In my other base, I actually had them covered up. So they were inside the roofs. You actually didn't see them unless you were looking down at my giant tower house, which not very many people could do, depending where I put it. But, anyways, so you can get like, what did I get? Like 1,200 I had 12 or 1,400 acid production per day is what I'm doing right now, which is a lot. It's very excessive. I don't need it. I don't need both of these water purifiers purifying dirty water. It's extra. I just like extra. I realize I'm going to be throwing a lot of this stuff on the ground in like a week or two because we're running out of time for this scenario. We've pretty much done everything. I'm almost even done my journey. So I think I purified a couple thousand purified water today just with the other purifier running, which is good. The acid, I don't know how I can prove to you guys how much acid I made in 24 hours, but it was one of these stacks and like half of one of those stacks. So maybe this will show you how much acid I'm actually making. It is quite late. But in I don't know, I'll check it again. I'll check it again tomorrow. If there's a change, then I'll make another video. But anyways, I want to keep this video short. It's about 1200 to 1400 or 1200 to 1400, depending on how you say your numbers. It's about there, maybe 1500 when things go well. And then you have acid, and acid lets you produce your WIMs, right? That's a big part of it. It helps you produce your ingots, right? Your aluminum needs acid, your tungsten needs acid. Try to get these bonuses. One of these has the bonus for everything, and one of them has the bonus for just the aluminum and tungsten, because two people had different bonuses. I have all three bonuses for the benches, which is nice. Healing, AP, and regular ammo. Anyways, we were talking about WIMs. They use quite a bit of acid. These are going to drain you of all of your acid, especially the space twisters to teleport your team to you. Homestyle noodles clear out all of that nasty sanity damage that you get, or insanity, however you want to look at it. Arrow leap is awesome. Living armor is awesome. Spring legs, like all of these are really good. They all fit a very good niche. They're very well thought out. Utter delight, doubles or what, 35% doubles your WIMs. So in general, yeah, use these. Yeah, and I have a ton of extra stuff. I was thinking about selling the WIMs at one point, and since this is PvP, I was like, I don't want to help them. I don't want to help them. But anyways, so I think I pretty much covered everything with this. I guess I could show you the how everything's moving, but essentially we'll start from the top. So polluted water comes in to these. These are all switched to polluted water. Yes, you have to switch every single one of them after you build them. And then that all moves down through the floors into these two, not just one, but two, because there's only 8 or 9 connections per water tank available. So I split them up, and then whatever, it drains to this one, and then the bottom one, and then the bottom one drains. I no, actually, I think it had the top one drains too, just in case it got clogged or something. I didn't want it to get jammed. And then because we have so many of these water pumps and so many other connections to these because of the water being taken out, we have 3. Unfortunately, it's a little ridiculous, but that's how we had to do it. And these are lower down. These are going to the lower part of the fill because these are gravity fed. So we're saving energy by having all these gravity fed, as are the ones outside. These are gravity fed as well. They're electrically connected with a daisy chain. So this one's connected to this connected to this connected to that. The reason I did that is so if the power runs out, because they're all daisy chained all the way along here. So if the power starts to run down, it will start to just shut off some of these pumps, which is fine. That's what you want to do. It'd be better if they had an easier way of doing it. If you could go up to your power thing and just have different like plans, like this, you want to run all of your water pumps, or oh, I want to run all of my furnaces, or whatever, or even just have like a simplified electrical diagram where you just connected stuff. That would be cool. Teach people actual useful skills like about electronics. And if we could also have one for the plumbing, right? And then say, okay, this one's here, these fill this much. That would be really cool. I think that having a game like this where people can learn would be great. So yeah, these fill up. Bee fly, yeah, these are filled up. These are daisy chained as well. So if the power runs out, one of them is always running, but not necessarily both. And the water, I have the pumps just pumping into both of these, pumping into all of these, whatever, right? And then everything drains out into the finished good thing over here, which we already took a look at. So you guys here, it's 20 minutes. I'm not sure what people are confused at. I'm not sure where people need some help, but you'll see that this has been fluctuating because of the eels, but it's not fluctuating that much because the eels are strong. If you have weak eels, this will go up and down like crazy. When I had like level 1, level 2 eels, this was so erratic, it was annoying. But when you have stronger eels that don't have crappy negative, like the really detrimental negatives, it's actually not that bad. So yeah, if you want to, oh yeah, and then this pumps the water from the thing downstairs, the finished goods with the purified water, up to the water sprayer, which is at the top. I don't know if we looked at that. I'll just keep this on, I don't care. So that pump goes to the water sprayer here. See, that's it here going up, and then this drains down to here. So that's filling up the the top acid barrel, right? Let's see if we can time this right. Nice. So yeah, that's filling up here, and then this flows into here, and that flows into there, I think. So yeah, so we can do this, and just leave a little for it to keep moving. We can take the water out. Yeah, like it's already, whatever, just throw some in there. And then we can say, well, yeah, just make sure you're clicking the right one. 2000, 2000, 1000, whatever max. Add it in there, and then add it in there. But that's a part of something, an issue that they have in supply chain is work in progress. There's so much work in progress with these machines because they have 400 units. Yes, it's good that they have internal storage, but I think that should be scaled. There should be an internal storage, and then there should be a switchover point. So you can, for example, set this to like 500, and after 500, it drains into the next one. After 500, it drains into the next one, something like that. Or even just keeping it really low. Like if it uses 10 per cycle, then just having it like 11 or something. I don't know, 21, whatever you would want to do, so that it always has something, and then it drains out to the next one, and then it would backfill. So then this one would fill first, and then that one would fill, and then that one would fill. But I mean, that's what would actually happen in most cases. But I don't know. You just got to keep in mind how it does things, and it's very difficult to make an acid system completely automatic. It's just unless you only have one barrel and you only have one machine and one tank and one pump, and then whatever, the other pumps are all connected. But the second you have more than one of these, and the second you have more than one of these processing your stuff, that's it. That's it. So you can see this is consuming this quite quickly. Anyways, so yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I wouldn't say I'm a super expert at this, but I mean, I'm getting 1500 acid per day, which is more than I've seen anyone else do. So yeah, it takes up half of my, or 8 of my deviants, but I could get deviant energy generators. I just didn't get them. So yeah, I hope you guys have fun putting your acid systems together. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll catch you later.